How's it going, everyone? If you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I've been incredibly positive, incredibly complimentary to Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Honestly, I am absolutely ecstatic that the game has done as well as it has. However, I have also shown a lot of biases towards the game. I have also let a lot of things that typically annoy me completely slide, and I do have to criticize the game for one element. Look, leading up to the release of the game, they did the gimmick that a lot of games are doing these days. Spend $70 and, oh, you don't get to play the game when it's actually out. You have to wait the 3 days because how dare you only spend $70? That's how you should actually view things like base games being released for $70 and the deluxe edition being locked away with actual day one release, because that's what it actually is. Especially when you look at a game like Sparking Zero, the game is done, it is ready to go come Monday, 6 p.m. Eastern time, when the early access, the quote-unquote early access, guys, they just promote it as early access. The game's ready, they can unlock it whenever they want. They just want to incentivize people to buy the deluxe edition because they don't believe just baking in the season pass to that is enough. Rather, let's try to capitalize on FOMO and let's get people to buy the deluxe edition. I think this is a very, very lame trend in gaming, and you are getting people and utilizing FOMO to get them to spend $100. And already games are $70. That's incredibly, incredibly expensive. But I was of the mindset that from Bandai Namco's lens, it would be absolute business malpractice for them not to do this. I mean, they are a business at the end of the day. They are trying to make the most amount of money as possible. However, I also have to look at it from the lens of the consumer, and I think that stuff is lame, especially early access in particular. These days also, a big norm in gaming is the Season Pass, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, unlike Tenkaichi, because in fact 17 years have passed, and now Dragon Ball Sparking Zero coming out in 2024, it is adopting things like fake early access. It is adopting things like a Season Pass with characters already noted for that. You know, we know that characters from Dragon Ball Super Superhero as well as Dragon Ball Daima are going to be included. By the way, first episode of Daima is out. Animation's kind of crazy, but all of those things considered are nuisances to me and are annoying. And again, you could look at every other fighting game does this, every other game does this in the case of early access, or a lot of other games do this at early access. That doesn't make it better. Just because other games are doing it, that doesn't make it better. However, then I look at it from the vantage point of the Ultimate Edition is $110. That's one level up from the Deluxe Edition, and you would think the Ultimate Edition would include everything. You know, $110 and that'll get you everything. You get the Season Pass, you get some cosmetics, ability to summon Super Shenron, etc., etc. No, that's not even everything, because right on day one, they are releasing 2 packs of DLC, Anime Music Pack 1 and Anime Music Pack 2, both for $14.99 a pop. So yes, if you want all of the music to the game, where you can adjust the BGM, go buy the 2 anime music packs. Thanks for another $30. This level of monetization for Sparking Zero is a little bit too much, and it's absolutely egregious. Again, you can look at other games. Atlus is incredibly notorious for doing stuff like this. I should say Atlus and Sega. Sega these days, they're locking New Game Plus behind DLC content. They are releasing $100 Ultimate Editions and then turning around and releasing a $30 piece of DLC. Just because they are doing nonsense doesn't mean that Bandai Namco doesn't deserve to be called out for nonsense. I think that we are just normalizing this level of nonsense, and I have been critical about the early access gimmick for well over a year. Going back to the release of Hogwarts Legacy back in early 2023, I can remember being very annoyed by it and being like, okay, this is just a trend in gaming to capitalize and capitalize on FOMO. That's really what it is. And now in this new culture of, oh, gamers are streaming the title, they want to be first to play the game, and I am definitely in that category as well. They are doing something to also take advantage of the FOMO that I'm going to experience, obviously, again, and I was making a little bit of a joke out of it, being like, we waited damn near 17 years, we're going to pay the additional $30, and a lot of people did, and it is what it is as far as that's concerned. I've been critical about it, and I come across as a little bit hypocritical when I talk about Sparking Zero, and I'm not as critical about it, and I almost make a joke joke out of it, but I'm being transparent with you guys that I am being a little bit hypocritical. You know, sometimes we have these biases towards these games, and Sparking Zero is one of those games that I had a bias towards. But the bias at some point has to end. Me defending this game at every corner, because I think this game is phenomenal. I think this game is tremendous. And obviously, this game isn't being done from a development studio area. This is always going to be a publisher decision, and how can we monetize and maximize profits of this game the most. And is it going to work? Probably. It probably is, but Sparking Zero's Anime Music Pack 1 and 2 are the only things, as far as DLC is concerned, that has a mixed reception on Steam. 47% of the 73 reviews are positive, and again, you can be like, oh, you don't even have to get it, but I would argue that the BGM selection in this game is somewhat limited, and you're talking about a game that did have a $110 Ultimate Edition. You would think that if you were spending $110, that's a lot of money. Last generation, that was damn near the cost of 2 separate video games. If you're spending $110, you should be rewarded with all of the content that's available day one, and the season pass, of course. But you're releasing content for the game day one right off the rip. That is so egregious to me, and this is another area where Bandai Namco did this with meme fighting game release. Like Jujutsu Kaisen Girls Clash, the worst game of the year, had a $95 Ultimate Edition or something like that. They just constantly do this. However, with Sparking Zero, it's gonna have a little bit more attention around it, and the Ultimate Edition was a whopping $110. They've tried every avenue to maximize the profits of this game, and I can understand this game is gonna be an absolute cash cow, but I think at some point we gotta be like, alright, monetize the game, do your season pass, do your fake early access, but a $110 Ultimate Edition should give you all the content of the game, at least all the content day one. If you want to do a Season Pass 2, 6 months, a year from now, by all means, do that. If you want to do story-based DLC a year from now, after Season Pass 1's wrapped up, by all means, do that. But let's do that down the line. Day one, if I'm spending $110, I should have all of the content available day one, and it's not just about it being music. It's about $110 not getting you all the content, and that's a horrible precedent to set, because more and more publishers are being successful with this style of game release. I mean, Ubisoft's been incredibly successful with it. I mean, Ubisoft's been doing it for a while, but they pushed a little bit too far, and now they're completely restructuring. I'm not saying Bandai Namco is going to be doing a restructuring based on this. This ultimately isn't going to affect them whatsoever, and the game has been a juggernaut, an absolute colossal success, the biggest anime success as a video game in history. I mean, they're gonna do just fine. They're gonna make money hand over fist with this game, and the game again is phenomenal. I think the developers did a tremendous job with this game. It's everything I've ever wanted out of a Tenkaichi 4. However, it's also a lot of the things that are wrong in gaming in terms of DLC practices and $110 Ultimate Editions with DLC right out the gate day one. I mean, I gotta call that out, and that's incredibly lame in my humble opinion. Maybe I'm making much ado about nothing. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.